maintain 2074.
Who am I?
Comment 504, descend and maintain 3000. 3000, comment 504.
Answer Captain 724 is our crafting Nevada.
In my 20s, I dream of flying a plane. Due to having glasses, I thought it's not possible. In mid-2016, I started to have foggy vision. After I checked out, the doctor said I have cataract in both my eyes. Wow! I really never expected this. I felt like taking a trip to the moon, jumping up and down. I'm filled with excitement. But the unexpected turns out into my reality. The cold, hard truth. I need to step into divorce. My mom said her final goodbye, and my family broke apart. I stepped into a solitude journey. This is the best journey I ever experienced. It was super challenging. My achievement, the award-winning author from housewife to pilot, the beginning.
Comment 504, descend and maintain 3000. 3000, comment 504.
I'm Keiko Lim. I'm here holding your hands, guiding you every steps to discover your potential, harness that energy, bring it to your reality, and make your dreams come true.
Comment 504, reduce speed of 170 for tower space. You get following a Boeing 727, 1 o'clock, 6 miles right base, descending on 3500.
Welcome to Tuesday with Keiko. Today, my guest speaker is Helene Davidian. I'm honored to introduce a truly remarkable individual who has dedicated her life to the profound art of spiritual connection and guidance, a highly intuitive spiritual channel known for her ability to bridge the gap between the material and the spiritual worlds, with a deep understanding of energy and a keen sense of intuition. She has empowered many individuals to navigate their personal journey with clarity and purpose. Her insights not only resonate on the personal level, but also inspire transformative growth in both individuals and communities. Please join me in welcoming Helene Davidian, whose wisdom and spiritual guidance are sure to enlighten us all today. Helen, please share with the audience how you gain such an amazing power of intuition. The stage is all yours.
Thank you. Well, I just will say that I didn't know I had any gifts when I started. I had, without realizing, I could sense things, feel things, and quote to people what would be good or not, but I didn't know I had a gift until much later. And the man who trained me said, "You've done this all your life, and now you know you're doing it." And then I looked back and realized what he was saying, because I've been helping people since I was a little child, but I didn't know I was. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
So when I was very small, after my mother had died, my mother died before I was 2 years old, I would go to parties, and instead of playing with the other children, I'd be sitting in the kitchen with the mums. And the mum of the house would tell me all her troubles, because I was a quiet little girl and I was sitting there, told me all her troubles and felt better afterwards. Didn't know I was a healer or anything else, neither did I. And
I see.
That's where I started. You know, I was very small, very young, and I had the listening ability. And I used to go around and visit people when they needed it, and I was always able to help. Thought this is what everybody did. I didn't know that not everybody does this. So then I found that I was able to put my hand on somebody and they'd feel better afterwards. And that's when I got led to be trained as a healer, because I went to this place and this man said to me, you have the gift and you've always had it. And I just worked with him, didn't know what I was doing, but just copied him. Anyway, at the end of the day, I have seen what you would call miracles. To me, I was just doing my job. Dogs would be brought to me and then they'd get better. People would come to me and get better. And I thought, that's interesting. And of course, I know now that I have a great big heart full of love. And Spirit have told me they use every bit of that love. So they even give me mediumship to help people with as well. I think everybody could be a healer if they wanted to be. Not everybody wants to be. I think I've wanted to serve all my life. And so this is why it's come out the way it's come out. I want to stress that your intuition is a vital thing. However you get it, everybody gets it differently. I get it in my body because I'm a healer. I start feeling awful or pain or something. Some people get it in their mind, some get it in their throat. But I'll explain one of mine so you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was I was away in Israel at the time, working in the state bank. And every weekend, a family had adopted me because I was young and I was quite cute and I was friendly with their daughter. And I'd go there every weekend. And this Friday, I sat in the office and I had a terrible pain inside me. I knew I couldn't go. No one said it, but I knew I couldn't go. And I phoned the mother up and said, I'm sorry, I'm not coming. Couldn't tell her why. But 3 hours later, there was a bomb on the bus I was due to go on. So it's a bit like Victoria Station or something. The buses went at a set time from a place, and this bus had a bomb on it. So I realized then that they don't want me to die yet. They've got work for me to do. And
Yeah, that's for sure.
yeah, that's what happened. So I've had other incidences, not as severe as that, but when I don't listen, then something goes wrong. If I listen, fine. I got rebellious at one point. I had a friend over from Portugal who wanted to take me out for a nice meal, and I had very little money, and the idea of going out for a nice meal was wonderful. Anyway, I went, even though I had this small niggle. I got as far as St. John's Wood, and somebody drove out of a block of flats very fast and smashed into my car. I'm stationary at the time. And the car was damaged so that although I got where I was going, it had to be written off. They couldn't afford to repair it. So that told me why I'd had a niggle. But I enjoyed the meal. It was lovely.
But it is really, thank God that, at that moment you are safe and okay.
Yeah, because they don't want me to go yet. So they do look up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a more recent one. I told you that something wrong with my toe. It'd been caught on a gate. A gate was trying to rip my toenail off. And
Wow.
it was very painful. Anyway, that was about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And this morning I went to see a chiropodist to find out whether they were going to take the nail off or what they were going to do. And
I see.
Spirit was so good to me that in all that time I've kept it covered and I've been very careful how I've moved. And the nail is reattached. There's a lot of blood underneath it, but it will all come out, it's dry and it
Yes.
will disappear. And
Yes.
that I'm so grateful to them because I was told by the lovely nurse who was coming to me, they're going to have to drill a hole in it or they're going to have to rip it off. I've been really worried. And she looked at it today. She said, no, it's grown back.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't
That's
that
really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so they do look after me a lot. They want me
Yeah.
immobile and they want me back on my feet. So they're doing what they can for me.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It is, because if you listen to the guidance you get, and everybody gets guidance, but most people ignore it. Most people get the brain out instead of listening to the gut feeling. And I'm blessed that I do listen mostly, except in that one case.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had a lovely meal.
That's nice.
A child got written off, but I had a lovely meal. What I'm trying to say is that when it's really serious, like this was, that time when there was a bomb on the bus, had I not listened, I wouldn't be here talking to you now.
That's so true, and that is so scary.
Well, it's not scary. It just tells me that I'm a lucky one that I listen. Not everybody listens, and I find that another example I'll give you. When I first came to this flat I'm in now, and I've been through a horrendous amount of being married to a gambler. All our money went. We lost our home and everything else. It's fine, but what happened was when I got here, the flat was in a terrible state, and a year later they were going to give us a shower, a bath, and renew the plumbing and give us heating. We didn't have heating. They showed us the plan of what they were going to do, and I turned around and said, look, I can't afford the shower and I don't want a bath. I would like a shower. Anyway, when it came to it, a man came up to me and whispered. He said, we're going to give you a shower, but you have to say you're a Muslim if anyone asks you.
That is so nice of him.
Yes, because that's what they do it for Muslims. They don't do it for anyone else. Anyway, they gave me the shower, which everyone else was paying. Remember, this is 40 odd years ago, that you had to pay £200 plus for the couple of tiled walls and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't have to pay anything. And I'm so grateful because I just said to upstairs, I said, I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for anything. Please just give me a shower. And they did. So
That's so nice to know.
Yes, if as Mahatma Gandhi said it best, he said, a prayer from the heart is always heard. And it was.
This is so powerful.
Yeah, well, it was powerful because everyone was told that they could only have it if they paid this money. And I just prayed and I said, look, I'll do whatever you want. I'll work for you, but I need a shower. And I got it. Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is amazing.
And they've helped me in lots of ways. Another one I'll give you. I was working in a healing clinic, and I think I actually told you this personally. And a barrister came in, and they're not allowed to sign on when they've got no work. I've forgotten why they can't sign on, but they can't sign on. So this barrister came in, and she was very worried. She didn't have any money. I had very little. And I gave her £10, which was a fortune to me in those days. And I gave her £10. As soon as I stepped out of the clinic, I found £10.
Wow.
But 2 more weeks, I gave her £10. And each time I got the £10 back.
Wow.
Because upstairs knew I didn't have the money. And so I got it back.
That's really amazing.
Yeah. And I never borrowed off anyone. I never asked anyone for anything. And one of the girls on my course, because I was doing my degree at the time, one of the girls had noticed me that I had very little money and I was worried and whatnot. And she came up and she gave me a check in those days for £100. And I said, I can't accept that. She said, please take it. I've been left money and I'll only spend it. So I took this £100. As soon as I made it back up, I went to give it to her. Do you know what she said to me? I wish I'd given you more because I've spent all the rest. So I saved her £100 back because she'd spent all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you're truly doing from your heart what you need to do, they will always help you. Them upstairs. I call them. So it's just that I never asked for anything terrible or anything too big. I just asked, to survive, really.
It is. I mean, surviving, we need to survive. For me, I was born in poverty, and my mom worked so hard every day. She is earning that a few dollars a day.
Yes.
to put food on our table. But then I like those moments where, my whole family will have a meal together.
Exactly. Well, it made you appreciate life and appreciate what was real, because
It
having
is.
food for all of you is more real than having presents or having nice clothes or whatever else it was.
It
So
is.
no wonder we both appreciate having food.
Yes. I love food so much.
So do I. So do I. And things have always been tough in my life as well.
Yeah, same here. I mean,
Yes.
it's like, yeah, me too.
So I appreciate everybody and everything. And I understand, okay, I get my moments where I might lose it for a minute, but I do appreciate everyone. They have a difficult time.
Yes,
So I think that's what it teaches you. If you have a hard life, you learn how to appreciate the difficulties of others
that's right.
and be kind and patient with them. I'll give you another example of something that's happened recently. In the next block to me, they're doing building work. And
Mm,
I got very upset. I came home. I've made a garden between my flat block and the next block, and the council love it. They wished everybody would do it. And I love my garden and I work on it very hard. I don't see it, my neighbours see it. So I imagine I come and somebody has walked through my garden treading on the plants to put a wire plug into that kitchen and trailed through my plants. So I just touched the wire. I wasn't going to pull it or anything. I touched it because I really like it off my plants. And the man in charge came out and screamed at me and said, "If you touch that, you'll die." I said, "No, I won't." I wasn't pulling it or anything. I was just trying to demonstrate I didn't want it there. And he really made me feel awful. Anyway, I did report him to the owner of the flat. Anyway, today he came up to me very sweetly and he said, "I want to apologize for that time when I shouted at you." And he told me what had happened. His friend or cousin or somebody had gone to take his wife to a specialist in Thailand. Something was really wrong with her and he was taking her there.
yeah,
And he went and died in the bathroom in Thailand while he's there to support his wife. So this guy was really distraught. What's he going to do about this guy that's out there? I think it was his brother or his cousin or something. And I then understood why he was in such a state when he spoke to me. He said it was nothing to do with what you're actually doing. He said, I'm sorry I took it out on you because I was so distressed about what I just heard. So I
I
said,
see.
yeah. So I said, "Thank you for coming and explaining. It was very lovely of you." I said, and I was surprised because you seemed like a nice man. So,
Yeah,
so he said, all the that weekend, I was asking myself why I'd been so rude to you. And then when he explained, I understood. You know, he was
yeah.
so distressed he couldn't think straight. So
Yes, I mean, it's like at times we get into those moments, stressful moment.
yes, and somebody gets, and what was lovely that the way he came and apologized, because I'd at the time I thought I didn't do anything. Why is he screaming at me? And then when he
Mm,
explained, then I understood. You see,
mm,
if people communicate, you can understand why they do what they do.
yes,
And there's not enough communication anywhere. And
that's right.
COVID made it worse. People stopped talking to each other. They did everything online, and
That is something that I will agree with you.
yeah, yeah. And so I found it so lovely because he is actually quite a sweet man. And I see why. So I just went back and I said, "If you give me the names, I will put them in my healing book. Your name, your brothers, and your sister-in-law." He said, "Thank you so much." So I've got to do, when I come off this podcast, I've got to remember to put their names in the healing book because it works. When I do healing, I put my hand on the book and everybody in the book gets prayed for as well. So that's what
I
I'm going
see.
to. Yes. Well, if I said all the names, I'd never get off the chair because I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of names. So
Wow,
that way. For a week, I will say the names out loud. After the week, they're in the healing book. So that's
Wow.
great because I've been doing this book for quite a long time now, and I
Mm.
realize I just can't spend the whole day just sitting there. So that's why I do it that way.
Now, when you mentioned that when the name is on your book
Yeah,
and you say a prayer, it does work.
of course it will.
Now you make me realize something. No wonder God want us to pray every day.
Well, look, hold on with that
Uh-huh.
about the praying every day. What it is, I've been praying for years, but I don't. Sometimes I don't have to pray every day. What happens is the link is already there,
Mm-hmm.
but when I do pray, as I say, I put my hand on the book. Uh,
Mm.
what the whole message from God is? Don't just repeat said prayers. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Do
Mm.
your own prayers and make prayers that mean something to you. Because I hear people reciting the Lord's Prayer, the this prayer, the that prayer. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything because they're not putting their feelings in it. Does that make sense? That's
Yeah. So we have to put our feelings in.
yes. Like I said, Mahatma Gandhi said, a prayer from the heart is always heard. In other words, if you, I, when I ran groups here, which I have, I used to run both healing
Yeah.
and other. I used to say, I'm going to make my prayer now, and I will leave space for you to all add. But when you do your prayers at home, do it from your heart. Don't just read a prayer out of a book.
Wow.
You
Thank
see
you
what I
for
mean?
this.
Yeah, because if
Yeah.
your feelings are not in it, you wouldn't say it that way. So therefore, it's not your prayer.
It's so true. I mean, it's like whether we put our feelings in or without the feelings in, it makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference. So I always
Yeah.
make my prayers, and I'd say all my family and friends and relatives and everything. Then I'd go around each person in the group and say, "Please add anybody you want to add," and they would add their people.
Wow.
Because it's not it's not just what I do. Yes, I pray for the earth, I pray for
Yeah.
people and animals, but I want them to add their people, and this is how I work. And I say, when you do it at home, make the prayers your prayers from your heart.
Mm.
I don't believe in this just repeating prayers from books. It doesn't do the same job. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it
um,
does.
because as you're thinking about it and you're saying it, you're putting more love and energy in it.
Yeah, I understand that feeling where, putting love energy in it because after I stepped into the huge loss, especially my mom passed away,
Yes,
that moment, I basically, it's like I put the feelings in it.
of course you did.
And yeah,
Yeah,
and that is where I learned, you know,
yeah,
you really love from your heart.
you have to.
Not just say,
Not just
not
say it.
just say it out
Yeah,
with your mouth, and
yeah.
you have to feel
Got to
it.
be from the heart. Got to be from,
Yes, but you will feel it, and
yeah.
you'll feel a difference.
There's a huge difference, and this is
Yes.
what I teach people to listen to their intuition, pray from the heart, and always try and understand the other person, have some
Mm,
compassion. And if somebody like this guy, when he lost his temper and was having a go at me,
mm.
um, I'm so glad he explained it all to me, because then I understood why he'd done what he did.
It is. I mean, it's like really appreciate this kind of person that
Yes.
came to you and explained to you what's going on.
Well, he's also noticed that I know everybody and I talk to everyone.
Mm,
We're not shouting or rowing or anything. We're just talking. And he began
mm.
to realize that I wasn't a bad person. And
Yeah.
he said he realized he'd gone mad. And he said, don't talk to me, shouting at me. And I thought, well, but now he's said what he said, I fully
Mm.
understand why it happened.
Yeah,
And
because
in a way, I'd rather,
because of the stress.
that's right, I'd rather he took it out on me than somebody else. Because as a healer, I can let go of it and I can understand. So there,
Yeah.
that the big lessons I give everybody is intuition.
Mm.
What was the word? I was just going to say the word. I'm getting old, so I forgot the word. Communication, intuition,
Mm.
communication, and compassion.
Yes,
So you
this
could
is
do
the
CIC
key.
if you like. You can have
Yeah.
whichever way you like, but they're the most important things: communication, intuition, and compassion.
Yeah, communication, intuition, and
Yeah,
compassion.
because when you see people losing their rag, as they say, losing their temper, there's always a good reason. And sometimes it goes back to childhood. You see, I'm a counselor and I do past life as well. And it means sometimes if somebody behaves very strangely, it's because they haven't solved the childhood issues.
I see.
And I can tell immediately. So this is what I need to say to you. We've all got to do this. We've all got to take a deep breath and, think,
Mm.
why are they behaving like that? And as I say, I've had years of knowing it's because the stuff that happened in their childhood caused them to jump at the wrong moment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say that's very important to know. And as for yourself, bless your heart, trust yourself a bit more. Don't
Mm.
don't keep on going over your mistakes the way you do. It's not necessary. Okay, so you made a little slip up. Big deal.
Thank you so much for these tips.
It's my job to notice how people are. It's my work.
Yeah.
And I see this lovely woman beating herself up because she made a mistake over a word here or there.
Mm.
And you know what else? I was dyslexic and stammered when I was young.
Mm.
Partly to do with having lost my mind. I don't know. All I know is I'd get up to teach and I'd go bright red and stammer. And I had a terrible time to start with. And then when I got over myself, I just got on with it. And they now tell me I'm a good speaker. When that's because I thought, well, it's me worrying what I'm doing rather than doing it.
Yeah, I guess this is part of human nature. We were worried about how we present.
No. Everybody's different. Some people don't care to the point that they're not even putting decent stuff out, but they're not worried about it. So don't try and lump everybody together. Just the trick I was told, you own up for yourself. That's how I feel, say. Don't think everybody's the same as you. They're not. You see what I mean?
Everyone is different.
Yes. So don't
Yeah.
ever say we as human beings. No, because I've known people who actually fairly rubbishy stuff comes out their mouths, but they don't care. They just spill it all out. I used to do work on mediumship platforms. This is there was a lovely blind medium in her 90s at the back of the hall, and the
Mm.
woman who'd invited me. This is really quite shocking. I didn't know was jealous of me, and why jealous of me? I had no money, I had no this and that, and I was only not even happy to be on stage. Anyway,
Yeah.
apparently she was jealous of me for some reason or other, and she tried to spoil everything I was doing. This blind medium at the back said, will you give, because I was breaking down, I wasn't able to give the messages because I felt so attacked. She said,
Yeah.
please give this girl a chance. She's very good, but she needs encouragement. That's what she said about me.
Mm.
Because she picked up that I had a good heart, and whatnot. And I thought to myself, how kind that was, because I had given advice to a couple of people who came up to me after and said that was very helpful. But until she said what she said, they were going to dismiss me because of what that woman said. You see what I mean? So
Yes.
it's very easy to dismiss someone who's got scared or shy or anything like that. They got the stuff, but then they need a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm talking to you the way I'm talking to you. You've got it. You're great, but you've got to believe in you. And that means not beat yourself up if you make a mistake.
Thank you so much.
You are so
That is so empowering.
you are so welcome. I love doing this. I love building somebody up with the truth. Because I won't tell you any porcupines. I don't say it just to please you or for you to
Mm,
well of me. I only tell you what's true. That's how
yeah.
I can't tell fibs.
Yeah.
My family all know if I don't like something, even if I don't speak, they'll know soon enough because
Mm.
I'm very honest and my face is very readable. So I can't sort of say, "Oh, that's lovely," when it isn't.
Yeah. And thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. Before we wrap up, is there
Yeah.
anything else you like to add or any message you want to leave our audience with?
Just a reminder that your intuition, your compassion, and your I've lost the word now. Your communication is vital.
Yeah, it's yes, it is.
Communicating with people so they understand why you've behaved in a certain way is vital. So there's 3 C's in a one I. It's communication, compassion. Um, maybe it was those two, and intuition. They're the most important
Yeah,
things. Because without communication, you can't, unless you're me, and because I can read people, unless you can read people, how are you going to know why that person looks the way they're looking? You don't know whether they're angry with you, pleased with you, or what, because they're not showing it on their face.
that's right. It's only that if you are able to detect their energy, you are able to tell.
That's right. And also,
Yeah.
I've said people know looking at me if I'm not happy about something, it shows immediately. Um,
Mm,
I don't always want it to, but it does. So what I'm trying to say is most people, you won't know what's going on with them.
that's right. Yeah.
So it's best to, the first thing I would suggest is you send them, oh, I didn't tell you about the pink, gold and blue, did I? Uh,
No,
no. They're all things that are on my special sheet. Did I say, I bet I didn't send you that sheet, did I?
no, no.
Okay. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
What it is, if somebody's being difficult with you, or they're in trouble of some sort, you surround them with an egg of rose pink.
Oh,
You only have to visualize this once. I'll just explain. You cover them everywhere in a rose pink egg. That is universal love. It's on the sheet I'm going to send you. And then
okay.
you do a thin layer of blue, which is healing, spiritual
Mm-hmm.
blue, which is healing, and you put a shaft of golden light to their mind, which is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now you send all that yourself in a separate set of that, in case you get agitated with them or something. Sorry, I got hiccup.
Yeah.
You put them you put yourself in your own set. Then you leave it alone. I'll give you an example of how this works. I've
Mm.
got my group, and he was a young man at the time, he was 25 when he came. Oh, go away, somebody's put something over your face. Right, it's from Uber. What was I going to say? Yeah, I told them about this pink, gold and blue. He thought I was
Mm-hmm.
crazy, and he left, he went to work, and one of his bosses said, upset him completely upset, accused him of something he
Mm.
had done. And
Mm.
he was about to shout back when he thought, I'm going to try Helen's crazy idea. And he tried it. And then the boss comes to him and goes, Ian, I'm so sorry I shouted at you. It's nothing to do with you. Come and have a coffee with me. He told the whole group, he said, I couldn't believe it. He said,
Wow.
so he said it works. I just said, everything I give works. It's just whether
Wow.
you need to try it. Yeah, because when you do that, if I explain that the universal, the pink is universal.
Yes, that's right.
I've
Yeah.
got, I've got pink quartz under my pillow because that's universal love. And then the layer of the healing, and then
Yes.
the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Then he knows what he's done wrong. So
I
this is what
see.
I got him to do. And he said to them, I didn't believe this would work. He said, and it worked so well that I'm telling you all.
This is really amazing. I know that there's pink light, there's blue light, and the golden light. But I never know that,
You didn't know
golden
how
light
to use it.
means
You didn't know how to,
knowledge.
yeah. Well, put it this way, everybody's got different ideas what everything means. But everybody knows that pink is universal love.
Yes, pink
Also
is,
know that
yeah, universal love.
blue is definitely the healing. But there's different views on the uh, golden light. All I know is that it works. The way I use it, it works. So
I
I
see.
use it. Um,
Mm.
I've got lots
How
of
how about how about purple color?
lovely, but it's not for that. Purple is a very spiritual color.
I
Um,
see.
yes. How can I put it? You can do look whatever works for you. You can use. I don't tell people what they've got to use. I just know
Mm.
that universally, pink is universal love. Everybody,
Yes,
and
that's
that
right. Yeah,
blue is healing. If you prefer to use purple instead of gold, it's up to you.
I see.
You know,
No.
I don't dictate to people what they should do. Some
Mm.
uh, teachers do. They say no, you've got to use that. I don't. I say whatever works for you is fine. It's whatever
So I'm
you.
I'm going to try that.
As I say, everybody's different.
It is, yeah.
So if you look, if you try it, say with the gold, and you decide you feel better with purple, then change it to purple. See what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you so much for this
You're
piece of information.
it's all very important stuff. And
It is.
I teach breathing. What else do I teach? I've even done a little video on breathing, because nobody breathes properly. Nobody. And I was taught to,
Agree.
yeah, I was taught to sing as a soprano, and I had to teach my singing teacher how to breathe in ordinary life. So how's that?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that most people talk like this. They don't stop and breathe. They carry on talking non-stop like this, and they've run out of breath.
That's right.
Yeah, that's normal. But what I do, first of all, I speak more slowly, and that means you've got a chance to work it out. But the breathing I teach is so simple, and if everybody did it, they'd be all right. It's all you have to do is when you wake up, you do 3 breaths in like this, hold it a bit, and then you whistle it out 3, and then 3 before bed. And any time you feel tense, you do it again, and it works a treat. Because when we get tense, we've got no oxygen going into our brain or our lungs,
Yeah.
and that's when we get in a state.
Yeah. I notice if I'm busy or I'm stressed,
Yeah,
I will stop breathing for a long time.
everybody does. Everybody,
Yeah.
because you get tense, and when you're tense, you're not
Yes.
breathing properly.
Yes. And that's what I noticed. Okay,
Yeah, but
so
it's true. It's true.
this is a great tips.
Yeah,
I will try that. Yeah.
yeah. I'll try and send you my sheet of helpful hints, because it's got breathing on it. It's got even um, how to put people in the pink, gold, and blue. Um, how to pray in a non a non-religious way, and it's sort of when you talk to upstairs, as I call it,
Mm,
that's your part of the prayer. Then you go
mm.
quiet, and then they can come back to you. Do you see what I mean? So I
Yes.
can even teach them that as well. I teach all these
Yeah,
things.
sort of like when I pray, and how do I get the message?
Are you asking me or telling me?
Uh, no, what just now, like what you mentioned about how to pray
Yeah,
and how to ask for something that I need at the
yeah.
moment in time. And yeah, it's so important to know I'm doing the right thing.
No. First of all, the right thing is you have to be careful what you're asking for, because
Mm,
I always say, please give me what I need, not what I want,
yeah.
because that's different. I'll give you an example. I always thought I wanted a red car. This is donkeys years ago. And when I actually got a red car that my son got me, I had nothing but trouble with it. So I don't want a red car. What I'm trying to say is not always what you think you want is right for you. So what I say is, please, I'm asking for so and so, but give me what I need. And they knew when I prayed I needed that shower, so they gave it to me.
Yeah, that is really amazing.
Well, I didn't. I was very practical. I didn't say, I need lots of money. And I did. I would have loved lots of money, but that's not the point. And I
Yeah,
what I actually needed, which was the shower, and I was given it. So
yeah.
I'm saying, try and ask for things, and always add, but give me what I need, not what I think I want. It's a
I will
big.
add that.
It's a big
I'll
difference.
remember to add that
Yeah.
sentence in.
I'll tell you why. Sometimes you think you want something, it comes, and then you realize you don't really want it. Whereas,
Agree.
yeah,
Totally agree.
yeah, if you ask for what you need, you'll always get something that's right for you.
That's right.
Yeah. So, simple little things. Spirit's like me, really quite simple. I'm very open and simple, and so is spirit. You know, um, I don't believe in giving them a hard time, but there's certain things we'd like, and there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think.
This is really amazing. Now, yeah, that's a great message, and we appreciate your expertise. Where can our audience find you?
It's a very good question. I'm on. I believe I've got a website, but even I don't know quite how to use it properly yet. So I'm going to work on it. Um, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on what else have we got? Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. I'm on those, and I'm the only Helen Davidian you're going to find, because many years ago I gave a talk, because I used to teach stained glass skills. I gave a talk to a group, and somebody else wanted me to speak. Nobody came to me. One woman asked another woman, and she went on Google, and there's one American woman, that this is donkeys years ago, who was on there with the same name, and she'd been dead for years. So she goes back to the other woman and says, "Oh, she's dead," thinking it's me she's looking at.
Mm-mm-mm.
That woman phoned me up finally. She said, "Oh, you're not dead." I said, "No, of course I'm not dead. You're speaking to me." She then told me what had happened, and I thought, how silly. Why not talk to me first, see if I'm alive, you know?
Yeah,
So I found out from that I think I'm the only Helen Davidian in this country with Helen as a first name with an E at the end, because there is a Helena,
mm,
and there's another similar name as well, and there's quite a few Davidians, but I think I'm the only Helen with an E Davidian. So I'm very
I
easy
see.
to find,
Yeah,
and there's usually
you.
sorry,
Yeah,
and there's usually
yeah,
a picture of me with my curly hair, and um, to find. So I'm not hard to find, whereas other people are. You know, if there's too many Jim Smiths or whatever else, you can't find
Yes.
that one. But you'll always.
Yeah. We'll be sure to include those links in the YouTube description box. And thank you once again for being with us today. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And to our audience, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this interview, please like and subscribe and leave us a comment or share it with others who might find it interesting. Until next time.
Bye-bye.